Okay. Um, so for this week's video assignment, selecting one of our favorite films or scripts to discuss the dramatic questions, I decided to go to back to one of my go-to favorite films of all time, Kubrick's 2001, and I took some notes. So I don't normally do this, but I'm going to try to refer to my notes as I move along. Okay. So here's the thing with Kubrick. Every one of his films asks dramatic questions, and the thing that I'm attracted to the most about his movies are that they're always left up for interpretation. Like there's never any clear cut answer to the questions. And he said several times in the past he refuses to answer questions about what does the film mean, um, because his opinion doesn't matter. It's all about what the viewer takes away from the work, which I think is really, really cool, and I can relate to that, especially writing Crisis because it's such an open-ended piece. It's a series, it's kind of like things are going to be revealed in layers. So I really can relate to what Kubrick is saying with that. I mean, I have the concept, I know what I'm doing, but it's almost like an IV drip. You don't want to give away too much too soon. You want to keep the audience asking for more. So anyway, so getting to 2001, Act One. Okay, the big thing is if anybody's ever seen this film or read the script, what the hell is going on in Act One? There's these apes, cavemen, prehistoric men, whatever, and then this big shiny, perfectly shaped rock. Referred to as the monolith. I don't think it's ever referred to as the monolith in the film, but that in all the essays, that's what they call it. And it has this effect on these uh, prehistoric humans. We know that it is teaching them something. It's conveyed without dialogue, which is really cool. So the big question is like, what is this thing, and why is it having an effect on these apes? Act two. Um, Immediately, we don't know where the hell we are. We're in outer space somewhere, and you start asking yourself the questions. Well, that was a huge jump. Um, and we figure out that we're on our way to a moon mission where this monolith has centuries. I mean, we're talking thousands of years later, has shown up on the moon, and we want to know why, as do our characters at this point. And it makes this crazy noise that drives all the astronauts insane, and we don't know why it's making this noise when they take a picture of it. So then we jump to Act 2B is what I like to call it, even though it's probably more like Act 3. But we have new characters that we're introduced to. Two astronauts on a spaceship and a supercomputer named Hal. And we're trying to piece together, what is their role in this? Well, it turns out that they're on their way to Jupiter, where, again, they figure out that's where this monolith has come from. And we also realize that this supercomputer is very coy and very smart, and is almost toying with our astronauts in an evil, manipulative way, and we want to know why. So then we'll go to Act Three, which in essence, I don't know if it would actually be called Act Three. It's more like an epilogue. Um, and this is where we're really like, what the fuck is going on? Because this monolith appears in a fancy hotel room, or it appears to be a fancy hotel room. And our protagonist, one of the astronauts, he's there, but he's much, much older, and we don't know why. What is going on here? Is he dying? Is he dead? And then we are revealed, and I don't want to ruin too much. If you haven't seen 2001, you really should. Um, but there's this beautiful baby, like star child, they call it, in this womb-like sac that floats through the cosmos. And I know that might sound like very vague uh, breakdown that I'm giving, but there's so many questions in this film, and the dramatic questions are literally going to stay with the viewer for quite some time after watching the movie. And to me, that's true art right there, when you are constantly questioning yourself after seeing something that stays with you, like Kubrick's 2001.